Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to session 3. Oh my gosh, time flies. Session 3 of the Transformational Stylist series. Kieran and I are back at you today. I love what I get to speak to you guys about today because I truly believe that it is everything. It is like that center, that core of all of your results that you're going to see and have seen in your life and in your future. It is energy, it is self-awareness. We're going to dive into that. We are also going to dive into your dream client and client attraction and how you can grow and sustain a client base. But by taking what we learn from studying energy and becoming more self-aware and really applying that into client attraction and sustainable business practice. So I'm going to share my screens as the weeks go on and on. I can't believe I'm going to say it, but I'm actually really enjoying making these slideshows. Okay. So, oh, did the wrong one. Hold on here, everyone. How do I get exit from this? Okay. Okay. So energy and self-awareness. I get too excited. So just like radio frequencies, right? Everything is energy. Everything is energy. There's energy in everything. Everything is moving, everything is vibrating. So you can think about it like radio waves, like frequencies. So let's say you're in your car and you want to listen to like a top 20, and maybe that's 107.9 on your radio, and you tune the little dial into 107.9, you get like the top 20 hits. That 107.9 is coming in at a certain frequency. The information, the music, right? The sounds are all, say, up here on a frequency. And they go from the radio tower, well, I don't know where they begin, and they go to your car radio, your speakers, and you hear it. Now, say you're driving along, you've listened to the top 20, you just want something chill, maybe some like light jazz, and you turn it into like 93.5, right? So you turn your radio station and now you're hearing light jazz because those frequencies and that information and that sound is on a different frequency. It's down here now. Everything is on a different energy frequency level. And there are unlimited amounts of these. Like just think of like in this video here, there's all these different waves, there's all these different frequencies, right? Some are really high energy frequencies, and we know what those feel like, right? Say you walk into a hair show and it's just like you can feel all the excitement, or you go to a concert and it's just like, like there's so much going on. We can feel these things. And we also can feel really low energy, really low vibes, almost like those really low feelings are like more matter than energy. They're heavier. We can all feel that stuff. So I want you guys to think about this. I can tell you these things, but take a minute to think. Have you ever walked into a room and you knew that something was wrong, something was off before anybody even said anything to you? Think of a time where you wandered in somewhere and you were like, "Ooh, like this is heavy, something's going on in here." And then we can do the opposite, right? Think back to a time when you were, oh man, even just close your eyes for a minute and go back to a time when you were having so much fun and you were so happy, right? Picture all of it. For me, I always go back to seeing my favorite band perform live, and I can feel the music like in me. I can hear the people all around. I can hear the music. Like I even remember how my ridiculously expensive drink felt in my hand and how it tasted and all the things. And just by your thoughts, you can put yourself right back into that energy, into that feeling, right? Even think about who here worries. Is there anybody here that worries all the time or is anxious about what's going to happen in the future? So let's say you did something in the past, you made some decision in the past, and it wasn't the right decision. You can go right back there now, think about that, think about the results of that, and feel really, really crappy, right? Our thoughts can produce different feelings in our body. And these feelings and these thoughts, they give off different energy frequencies. So, why am I telling you this? Because we can all feel these things. We can feel each other's energy. Like you've probably got a friend who you can spend the entire day with, the entire night with, and you're still just like riding high. You don't want to go home. It is so much fun. And then there's friends where you grab a coffee for 45 minutes, and by the end of it, like you just need to go have a nap. Like they're very draining. We can feel each other's energy. And that is so, so super important in business, in client attraction, in retaining those clients, right? And having your clients refer people to you. People want to feel good. And if you can make them feel good, they're going to want to be around you. Oops. I somehow have this like panning. Okay. So, in speaking about this energy and how we feel and how other people can feel, we're going to dive into being a fan to have fans. So keep all that energy stuff in your mind. Even like I'm going to give you homework later that's really trying to be more aware of how you feel during the days. So if you're behind the chair with a client, take that moment to be like, okay, where's my energy at, right? Like, how am I feeling? What am I putting onto my client? Is it like a nice, awesome, fun vibe that they're going to want to come back for more? Or is it like a really heavy, yucky, I'm having a bad day and I'm going to put my stuff on you vibe, right? People can feel this, but until you understand that, until you consciously try to become aware of that during the day, it's not, you could be sabotaging yourself is maybe what I'm trying to say. Okay, be a fan to have fans. What am I talking about? What is a fan? So we will kind of determine that first. What is a fan? A fan is a client, if we're talking about business, a client who visits you more often. They pre-book, they come in a lot, they don't miss their appointments, like they want to be with you. Going back to my favorite band, I will, if I can make it to my favorite band's concert, because I'm a fan, I'm a huge fan, I will show up wherever they are. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care what I have to rearrange in my life. I will be there. I'm not going to cancel. I'm going to go as much as I can. We can have fans in our business too, right? You don't have to be some famous rock star. Your family can be big fans of yours. Your friends can be fans of yours. Your clients, the people that you work with, right? We can all create a fan base. What else is a fan? So someone who visits more often, someone who pays your worth. They're not going to question your price. They're not always trying to get a discount. They know that you are worth what you are charging. Someone who refers their friends and their family, right? So let's say you have, actually, I'm going to tell you a little story. So I had two massage therapists that I went to. One was in the same plaza as the salon I worked at. So it was very, very convenient. I went in, it was a great massage. Like, got all those, not like it hurt, but it was good, you know, those ones. Like it was a good massage. But the energy of the man, the massage therapist, was so heavy and it was very negative and very whiny. And like, yes, my body felt good when I left, but mentally I was drained and I was exhausted. But I went to him, it was convenient. I went back, right? And then I found a woman who she was on the other side of town. Her massage was good. It wasn't great. It was good. But I felt amazing when I was there and when I left that place. She was light and uplifting and positive, and she made it about me. And it was just like I loved going. I went more often. I would pre-book. I never missed an appointment. She was hard to get into, probably because she made people feel great. I never missed an appointment. I didn't care what it cost. I was paying her. Like, I made it work. And I sent everybody to her. So even though maybe the technique of the massage and the results of the massage were better with the man who I was seeing, I sent everyone to this woman because I wanted them to feel as good as I felt when I was there. So this is coming back to the energy thing. Is this making sense? If it's not and you have questions, please always feel free to answer. There's one thing in the chat. Let me just see here. Oh, no, it's just Katie. Okay. So this is what I call a fan, and I will be fully like transparent with you. I read a book all about this. Where is it? Oh, I was going to bring it down to show you. So this book where I got this information about a fan, it changed my career. It is called Know What You're For. And it's by Jeff Henderson. It's in the Google Docs, in all the resources that we have for you guys. So this book, Know What You're For, it's all about becoming a fan of other people before you can expect them to become a fan of you. And the ideas and concepts in this book changed everything for me. And we'll go through a bit more of it today. So why does somebody do business with somebody else? Because they like you, they trust you, and they feel good around you. And then they stay with you when they become your fan. So just think about it. Would you do business with somebody who you didn't like or trust and you felt really crappy around? Probably not if you had a choice, right? And guys, people have a choice of who they go to see for their hair, for their makeup, for their massages. Like, there are a lot of hairstylists. There's a lot of us. We're everywhere. If you can grasp this concept of becoming a fan of other people, and I'm going to show you how, if you can really start to be more self-aware of where your energy is at when you're speaking with people, when you're meeting people, when you're with your clients, when you're out for dinner, right? When you're out and about, if you can become more aware of where your energy is at and becoming a fan of others, this concept, these ideas can change your business. They can open up opportunities anywhere you want. Like last week, we spoke about all the different opportunities, and maybe you chose one that is maybe kind of scary or daunting to you. But I'm telling you, you start, instead of trying to get things from people, you become their fan and you serve. It's all of those doors will open up for you. So let's keep going. So how can you become a fan of other people before you can expect them to become a fan of you? Likability. So throw this in the chat, unmute yourself, whatever's best for you. But likability, how can you create likability? Or why do you like somebody? So what makes you like someone? You can just throw your answers out there. I like people who are kind, right? If somebody's really nice and kind, they're easy to like. Anybody else? Got some stuff in the chat here. When someone is interested in what you have to say, yep, totally. Smiling, presenting a warm personality, yep. I like people who are uplifting of others and don't talk down about others. People who show up when they say they will. Yes, yes, yes to all of this. I'm going to leave this chat over here so we can still read it. But right, just think of why you would like somebody and be drawn towards them. And then I'm going to ask you a million times, turn that mirror around. Do you show those qualities? Are you presenting those qualities as well? Okay, what about trust? What would make you trust someone? And I think this is a really big one too, because we all know how vulnerable it can feel sitting in somebody's chair and they're about to cut your hair. even as even knowing my hairstylist for years and years, there were still those moments where you're like, oh man, it could go bad. Like it could go really wrong. And I have to wear this hair every day. So how can you build trust? Accountability and consistency is important for me to build trust. 100%. If somebody doesn't say that, do the things they said they were going to do, if someone is not showing up consistently and being accountable, is very hard to build trust. Yep, someone who's reliable. I agree. What about knowledge? Somebody who educates you, who shows that they know a lot about their craft or about what they're doing with for you, if that makes sense. So building trust could be a lot of educating as well. So let's say we all use social media. Now, I'm going to dive into this next week a bit, but I think it's important for this too. How can you use your social media? So this is something you guys can ponder over the next week, and we'll dive into it in the fourth session. How can you use your social media as well as show up in person? But we'll get into that today too a bit. To build likability, to build trust, and to make people feel good, right? How can you make someone feel good? What would somebody do that would make you feel really good? Because people remember how you make them feel. It's not necessarily the words you say to them or the things that you do, it's the feeling behind all of it. Why do you feel good around somebody? Let's say I am new to town and I'm looking for a hairstylist. And I go onto my Instagram and because I use Instagram as like my search engine. I don't know if anybody else here does. And I type in like Ottawa hairstylist. And a whole bunch of Instagram pages come up from a whole bunch of different hairstylists. And I'm scrolling through. Now, let's be honest, a lot of the pictures are going to be exactly the same. A lot of the before and afters are going to be the same. There's going to be a lot of trending hair color. What's going to make you stand out? What is going to make me look at your page in the mix of everybody else, all the other hairstylists in your city, and go, her, I like her. Him, I trust him. This person makes me feel good. I'm going to let you guys sit with that one for this week. And we're going to dive into that next week. I will actually give you like physical things you can do. We're going to do a social media audit. But start thinking of your social media as a business card, as a place someone can come to and go, ooh, like, trust, feel good. So let's see what you guys wrote in the chat here. Feeling good. Yeah, if someone listens, provides a service that they're expecting, and even going above and beyond. It's so important, right? It's so important to actually listen. So during your consultation or during, oh man, even just let's say you're out for dinner and your friend brings a friend, and this is a new person that could potentially be a client. You're going to listen with your full attention, like not listen in order to speak and respond, but truly just listen. You can provide them with value, right? Maybe they need someone, maybe they need some help, maybe you know how to serve them. And then going above and beyond. That's huge too. I call that GEM, going the extra mile. So great. Shows vulnerability. I love that. I really love that a lot, right? When you can be relatable, when you can be vulnerable and be real, I think that that makes other people feel great and it builds trust. I like that a lot. Guys, these are awesome answers. Thank you so much for engaging. I chose my lash tech because she posted about her snack bar. That's the best. I thought it was a cute little way to be above the other techs I've gone to. Yes, yes, Mackenzie. That's amazing, right? It was that one thing that made her stand out above the rest. She didn't have to do some whole new like lash. I know nothing about lashes. You know what I mean? It's a new technique or whatever it may be. She probably was doing the same work as a lot of other people. Maybe her prices were the same as a lot, right? But she had something different. And I think having a snack bar, like to me, that's like, oh, that's really sweet. She's thinking about us. She doesn't want us to be hungry. We can like have a little nibble. I might message her and be like, yo, is there chocolate or should I bring in my own? But I really love that. Going above, going the extra mile, going above and beyond. Right? So how can you do that? And I find if we can kind of rewind to last week with our superpower and the things we're really good at, how can you use those? Right? How can you use those things that you're already really, really good at in your business to go that extra mile, to really stand out? These are all really, really great things to think about when going forward with your business. Okay. I get very excited. Okay, next slide. Okay. So we have talked a little bit about energy and self-awareness. Some questions for you. Are there services that you provide or things that you do during your day-to-day in your business that you don't enjoy and that you think you might have really low energy in doing? Like for me, I knew whenever I had a men's haircut or a kid's haircut booked in, it could be 9 o'clock in the morning. And I walked into the salon and I saw like Randy in at 1 o'clock. And I'd be like, oh no. And I would instantly be like, oh God. And I'd think about everything that could go wrong in that haircut. And my clients before him would be in, and I'd be in this like stressed, worried, like, oh God, I just start sweating. I'm sweating right now thinking about it. Actually, I totally am. I gotta take my sweater off. Men's cuts just there might have been an incident in hair school. Somebody might have lost the top of an ear. And since that day, men's cut they freak me out. But I would be in that like energy until I was actually doing that and that man was gone. I didn't realize I was putting my worry, my anxiety, my fear onto all my other clients, right? When I didn't need to be. So be fully aware of the things that you're doing day to day in your business, in your life, right? That you don't enjoy and that make you feel yucky. If you can get rid of them, get rid of them. You don't have to do all the things you're supposed to do. Or if it's something you cannot get rid of and you need to do, I get that. You need to figure out how to change the ideas around it, right? It's never really the actual task that's the issue. It's the ideas behind that task. So for me, it was the fear of making a mistake and having that person be mad at me. 99.9% of my men's cuts, I didn't make a mistake and it was great. And I built wonderful relationships with these people and they left happy. So why would I let that one idea, that one thing that happened in the past, ruin that entire day for me? It's things like this, really trying to be self-aware about this kind of stuff. Because all of that, all of the energy stuff, all of the self-awareness, it really, it can either cause you, how do I word this? Client attraction. How many of you out there feel like that's all you do is just try to bring in new clients? right? It's almost like exhausting. You're just bringing in new clients. I talk to hairstylists all the time who they're constantly just trying to attract clients. And their retention rates aren't great. So then they're just continuing to have to attract more. What if you were aware of how you made other people feel? You were intentional about building trust and likability, so that when you did attract that client in, you had that client forever. They became a fan. They felt so great around you. So yeah, maybe those first couple of years in your business, you're attracting new clients, you're bringing things in, but then all of a sudden you get really, really great at knowing how to make people want to be around you. And they're just, now you have a business of referrals. Now you have a wait list of referrals that you can't possibly fit everybody in. How cool, right? What if every single one of those clients that you attracted was a perfect client for you, was your ideal client, your dream client? Do you believe that can happen? Do you believe that's even possible? That you can attract your ideal client every single time? I'm trying to move this little guy. Oh, I can't. There we go. That's better. Well, I'm telling you, you can. You have to get really specific on who this dream client is, and we're going to go over some questions. So get really specific on who your dream client is. And when you get really specific, you can figure out a lot more easily where to find these people. You show up in the places where your dream client hangs out. You know how to make people feel great and like you and trust you. You're just attracting all of these perfect people, right? You're retaining them. You're building this sustainability in your business where you have a client base of fans. When you have a client base of fans who are referring other people to you and paying your worth, that's like, it's like a marketing team for free, right? That's the best way to do it. Have your clients out there spreading the word about you, speaking your praises. That's free advertising for you. And it's totally possible. Trust me, I spent the first 6-7 years of my career struggling, living in a place of like, ugh, constantly trying to attract new people, always being upset that like my bosses weren't booking me clients or my friends and family didn't come in too often. Like I put it on everybody else, and I never took responsibility for me and how I feel and how I make other people feel in my business. Once I learned this stuff, it's like a 360, and business is fun and it's beautiful, and you get to spend time with these people who you just fall in love with, and you build these beautiful relationships. It's awesome. Okay, but you need to know who those people are first. I'm a little passionate about this stuff. Okay, your dream client. Let's see here. Oh, where do I put this guy? I know. There we go. Okay, so like I said before, when you know exactly who you're looking to fill your chair, you can get more specific in your marketing, and you can target that specific client. It also creates a lot more clarity on where you can go to target the specific person. That sounded very aggressive. Target that specific person. I didn't mean it like that. I literally mean it the opposite of that. Like, instead of going to get, right? It's the energy behind everything, going to get this client, and I'm going to get their money, and I'm going to get them in my chair. I'm going to teach you how to go and serve, and how to add value, and how to build trust and likability and make people feel good without the get. Who all can feel when somebody's trying to get something from them, right? We all know what it feels like when people are out there trying to get you as a client, trying to get you to buy something, trying to get you to click a link, trying to get you to XYZ. Instead, serve those people, create that fan base, and they're going to want to support you. Okay, pens and papers, please, everybody. If you don't have one, I'll give you a minute. as I read the chat, because this is my favorite part. Oh, Mackenzie, I like your responses. When I catch myself in those yucky moods, I try to reframe my mind. Yes. Stuff like men's cuts, I would instead thank the universe for the opportunity to practice it and better myself. I love that so much. And this is exactly, right? It's the ideas behind it. It's your perspective. You can change every aspect of your life just by changing your perspective. Okay, let's dive into dream client. We're going to get super specific. In a perfect world, and you are walking into your vision of your perfect business, does your client show up on time or are they always late? Now, for these questions, a lot of it is like standing behind the chair, taking on clients, but you can make this for, let's say you wanted to be an educator, and you want to teach online. Are your clients showing up on time? Are they always late? Let's say you want to do like, I don't know, mobile extension services, same thing, right? When you show up at your client's house, are they there? Are they ready? It doesn't just have to be standing behind the chair, but that's how I'm going to speak about it. Does your dream client pay you full price without asking, just what do I owe today? There you go. Here's a nice tip, all the things. Or are they always looking for a discount? Are they complaining about the price? And this one's really important because if you are out there looking for clients, I'm just kind of like side noting things here. If you are out there trying to build your business and you want clients who pay full price for your services, why are you putting up discounts on Groupon? Why are you 50% offing the first service for a new client? You do you, but I'm telling you, if you're always discounting your stuff, people aren't going to think that you even believe you're worth it. And B, they're going to be looking for a discount next time. Or when you don't offer that discount next time, they're going to find somebody else who offers a discount next time. And that's not going to be every single person. I'm not trying to say that, but these are things that you need to be aware of. So it is fully possible for you to set your price as a brand new stylist what you want it to be. And there are people out there who will pay it, no questions. I think a lot of that too is about your self-worth and what you believe is actually possible. And through this series, I want you guys to expand your awarenesses and your beliefs and to really build that confidence in your worth and know that whatever you want, what that vision was that you wrote down, fully possible, times 1,000. Like you're going to get to that place and go, oh my goodness, I can do so much more than this, right? So cool. I'm checking the chat before we go on. Cindy, yes. Okay. Does your client respect you and your business? Do they respect themselves? Does your dream client visit often? Do they cancel often? I used to have two sisters who I did. One of them lived in the same city as me, and one of them lived about an hour away. And they would come in. They both came in they both made appointments for every 6 to 8 weeks, just like a bit of a root touch up. They had a bit of gray and a trim. And one of them who came from an hour away, she was like 5 minutes early for every single appointment. She pre-booked. She was happy and upbeat and positive, and we laughed until like our cheeks hurt. She would always try to pay me more than what my prices were. She bought product like, excuse me. And it was just such a fun, beautiful time. And her sister, who lived like 10 minutes from me, was always late. She would cancel last minute. She would come in complaining about everything. Oh my gosh, sometimes she would even bring her dinner and just like sit, and I'd be pulling her head back trying to get foils in. And it was just chaos. And I thought it was such a neat example of like just two completely opposite people. What I didn't want in my business and what I really, really wanted in my business. Now I'm going to ask you guys a question because I struggled with this for like 10 years. How do you break up with one sister but keep the other as a client? That was my That was always the dilemma for me. And to be quite honest with you, I never did. I just kept the client who I didn't like coming in all those years. And I dreaded it. Like I took none of this advice. I just let her come in because I felt bad. Maybe her sister would find out and like all the things, right? We all have it. We all have that chatter. We all have that doubt. Um, I think most of us have like a bit of people pleasing in us, right? And like owning a business and building a business is not always easy. And we have to build that confidence and self-worth in ourselves and what we do up big enough to make those hard decisions. Um, yeah, it's kind of going random now. Okay, does your dream client have really positive, upbeat conversations, or are they really negative and complaining? And I think this is a cool one to know too, because a lot of us do, I call it lead generation, prospecting, like looking for clients online. So let's say you join a local Facebook group and you're like, this is such a great place to meet people in my community and to make some connections, and maybe those will turn into clients. Super easy one right here, right? Just read the posts, read the comments. If there's somebody who's really negative and complaining, and like talking shit, right? In these groups on Facebook or wherever you are, maybe don't connect with that person, right? Maybe don't try to build a relationship. But if there's somebody in there who's always adding value, hey, I saw your post about a dog trainer for your new puppy. This is who I use, really, really worked well for me. Here's a link to their website, right? Someone like that who's sharing and helping, that would be somebody who you'd want to build a relationship with. And I'll go over how you start building a relationship with a stranger, with the intent of them possibly becoming your client, but without going at it with that energy. So we're going to talk about that. And that is what being a fan is. But first, you need to know who your dream client is so you know where to find them. Does your dream client have a big network and like to refer people? Right? If that's something you're looking for, why don't you join a local networking group, right? All the people in that group are looking to refer other people. They're looking to build their business. They're looking to help and serve and uplift each other. Could be a really neat place to meet a lot of people and get a lot of referrals. But again, how are you going to show up there, right? You're going to show up educating, making it about them, listening, asking questions. You're going to show up and be a fan of those people and ask them how you can support them. I think that one question brought so many opportunities my way was, how can I help support you? And people will tell you what they need. So don't ask if you don't want to help. Okay, does your dream client have the same passions and hobbies as you do? No, they don't have to. Um, but if you're kind of looking on places to go in the community with people with similar interests, right? Because when you're talking about something you're passionate about, something you love doing, something that makes you happy, your energy is going to be up here, right? You're going to be having these conversations and it's going to feel really, really good. And it's going to be easy to chit chat with people about similar interests. Like I would never show up to like a gardening club. And lots of people love gardening. I wouldn't be able to talk about gardening. I wouldn't be excited. I'd probably be like, yeah, there's spiders in those plants. Like I wouldn't connect with those people well. Oh, but if it was like a book club or like a wine tasting club, I need to join more clubs. Does your dream client have similar values to you? I wish we had like a 8-week transformational stylist series because I'd love to dive into values. This is a really neat one too. Even just Google examples of values. I like to get a big sheet and Google examples of values, write down the ones that really align with me. Like I feel like values are kind of in us already. And then you just stroke them off until you have about 4 or 5 and use those to kind of move forward in your business. Like some of my values are fun. Like I love having fun, and I think we need to have more fun in the world. So I try to keep things really fun and upbeat. I really value education and like knowledge. So those are mine too. And I like educating people and I like finding people who want to learn more things. Um, but yeah, if you're someone out there who really loves educating your clients and teaching things, you're not going to necessarily be looking for people who don't want to know anything, right? Just trying to give you some ideas. Oh, there's more chat. Yes. The trust goes both ways. Yes, it does. Does your dream client need daytime or evening appointments, or can they be flexible? And can you be flexible? When I built my home salon, I only wanted to work when my children were at school. I wanted to get them on the bus. I wanted to be there for them after the bus and spend the evening with them. So I had to build a client base of people who could come during the daytime. I have very private, like it's just a home salon, right? So it's private. So I attracted a lot of people who could come during the day, who liked really private space. I wanted people who came often, right? Because I feel like if a client's coming every 6 weeks, that's more money in my pocket because they're there more often. So I was kind of thinking, I'm like, all right, so gray coverage, right, would come most often because they really want to get those gray covers. But why do they want to cover their grays often? Maybe it's a businesswoman, right, who really wants to look put together. She doesn't want her gray showing, so she always wants her hair gray. So a businesswoman, she can come daytime. Well, maybe she works for herself or works from home and could come during the day. Maybe to like entice her even more, I could put like a fold down desk in my salon. So when her color's on, she can just bust out her laptop, pull the thing down, and do her work. I had so many businesswomen who worked for themselves or like could come in during the day. And it was great because they loved the silence, they wanted to work. I would just leave them in the salon, set a timer, and like throw some laundry in, eat some lunch. It was wonderful. And they were all like happy, upbeat, really goal driven dreamers. So the conversation was always amazing. Do they want quiet time and private space, or do they thrive in the chaos of the salon? So I want to go back to this, my ideal client, this businesswoman, gray coverage, comes often, can afford to pay my price, all of those things. So once I kind of knew what an ideal client in my space could look like, where do you find these women, right? Where do I find these people? So I thought, where would a businesswoman hang out? Networking events, right? Or networking groups. Some of them were even volunteered a lot at my kids' school. So we kind of had that double whammy of having those children in common as well. A lot of them could come in and do like the hot lunches and stuff. So I found them there. Um, excuse me. Volunteer. I really like this idea of people like volunteering their time and giving back. And I met a lot of really amazing people who turned into clients volunteering. So let's say doing like the shoe boxes for Christmas, or oh my goodness, we did like cut-a-thons, a lot of cut-a-thons for like local charities. So in this cut-a-thon, you would attract in a lot of people who wanted to support this local charity, which is cool. I love people who want to support things in their community. And then as well, the people that ran those charities always seem to turn into clients as well, which was really cool. Like there's just so many different ideas, right? Oh, this is the end of it. You get the drill. Get very specific and as detailed as you can. So again, where does this dream client hang out? Does anybody want to come on and give, and we're going to do this next week too, but would somebody like to come on and give an example of a client they'd really like? And we can kind of brainstorm together where this person would hang out, where you can connect and meet with them. So if anyone's kind of feeling stuck, like I have this picture of who I would love in my business as a client, but I'm not really too sure where I could meet them. Give you guys a minute if anyone's feeling brave and wants to pop on. We'll sit in uncomfortable silence just for a second. Maybe it'll make you come on. That's okay. Next week, I would, and I know Kieran would as well, absolutely love for you guys to share with us. So share your vision. Maybe there's a new opportunity. Like when you look into the future, let's say 5 years, what do you want your business and your life to really feel like? Your client base, these dream clients, who are they like? Where are you finding and connecting with this? How are you becoming a fan of them? Like we want to know all the things. So I might get to the point where I beg someone to come on, but I'll let you off the hook this week. Okay. So we all know what it's like to have those fans, right? They come in more often, they pay your worth, they refer people to you. But how can you become a fan of them first? Right? Like, I don't know why, and I see this in these Facebook groups, these hairdresser Facebook groups constantly, why we expect to just open up a business and have it full of clients. Why do we expect to learn how to do hair and maybe learn how to do really great hair, right? Maybe you are amazing at your craft and what you do. But why do we just expect people to swarm to us and pay us and fill our books and refer all their friends and family to us when there's so many hairstylists out there? You need to become a fan of them first, right? You need to build that likability, that trust. You need to know how to make people feel really good so they want to be around you. Like, I want to side note this for a bit. And then Kieran, I'm done. I know that you have awesome things to share with us. So I just one more second. But oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. So how often do you think somebody has like an hour or 2 hours for it to just be about them? Like full honesty, it would take me a while to think of the last time it was about me and I got to sit in a chair or be in a space where it was about me and somebody asked me questions. Somebody listened to me. Like, different story here. I'm forcing you all today to listen to me and my stories. But like, honestly, you got to think most people kind of go about their days, right? Hustle, hustle, bustle, bustle, check the boxes, stroke off the to-do list, worry, anxiety, hamster wheel of the same day after the same day, after the same problem, after the same stuff. And then they meet you. And in that time with you, whether it's at a volunteer thing, whether it's making hot lunches at school, whether it's in your chair as a client, but they get that time with you and they feel like the most important person in the world. They're heard, they're seen, somebody's listening to them, somebody's truly trying to help them and support them, how amazing would that feel? Right? That will make someone come back and want your time again. And we as hairstylists have a beautiful opportunity to create that space, client after client after client after client. We can truly make a massive impact. Like, I don't think most of us know what we have our hands on. You can change somebody's life. So how can you become a fan? So let's say you're on Instagram, right? You figure out who your ideal client is. You're on social media and you find this person, maybe in a local group. Maybe you just search like puppies, Guelph, because you got a new puppy, right? So you can really relate to that, whatever it may be. Spread some love, like their stuff, love on their stuff, comment, pay attention, make them feel heard and seen. Like, I don't love this, but I know when somebody likes my things, right? I think that we all do. You're like, oh my goodness, so-and-so liked like 4 of my posts. That's adorable. Or add value and educate, right? So again, you are out somewhere and somebody's talking about something that they need help with, they need support with. Help them, support them, right? Even you could even follow up later and say, I was thinking about, you were talking about your son wanting to play baseball. When my kids were little, we enrolled them in XYZ. It was great because XYZ, here's a link to register. If you have questions, let me know. That has nothing to do with you doing hair. That's just you listening to somebody, right? Paying attention to what they had to say, figuring out how you can add value and serve them, and then staying in touch. Maybe again, a few days later, you follow up and you say, did the link work? Do you need anything from me? Can I connect you with anyone? Do you have any questions? Right? It's just paying attention to other people with having none of it have anything to do with you. That's it. You don't even have to post things on social media. Say you join a local community Facebook group, read through for the posts that you align with, and then just add some value, like it, love it, comment, private message the person with support, education, whatever it may be, a joke, right? Just a joke. Read down in those comments for other people who are looking for the same thing. Help them out too. Set a timer for 15 minutes and do this every single day. You would be surprised how many connections you build. Okay, homework. Pick 2 ways to connect with your ideal clients and add these to your daily to-do list. So maybe one of them is volunteering in your community and you're going to meet people that way. Maybe one of them is spending 15 minutes on social media every single day, searching for your ideal client and connecting with them. I have 98,000 other ideas and ways that you can connect with people. And if you want them, please reach out, email us, put it in the WhatsApp chat, just ask me for it. Whatever you want, we can go over as many different ways as you want, but social media and volunteering are always just really, really like wonderful ways to connect with people. And then your other homework, continue to visit that vision every day. So I know that you all had those vision casting sheets and keep going over them, right? Continue to just see that and feel what that life is going to feel like. Again, our brain is a secretary. When it knows what you want, it's going to keep its eye out for opportunity. So the more you visualize that, the more you sit with it, the more you go into that feeling. Because remember, feeling is energy, like attracts like. It sounds woo-woo. It is not woo. There's so much science behind us. Spend some time every day feeling into that vision, and then just pick 2 simple ways to start going and working towards that. And you're going to blow past that vision in no time. Okay, stop sharing my screen. Kieran, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you so much, Carly. It was amazing. I learn every time. So let me try to share my screen here. Carly, can you see my screen? Right. Hello, hello, hello. And hi. Hello, everyone. Um, Hope you're all geared up for the second part of the presentation today. Carly, you talked about being client. You talked about how to become the fan before they become the fan. That is so important. That is so important. So today we will be discussing about the marketing aspect. How can we reach those dream clients? So in the last 2 weeks, we've explored ways to discover your best self, pinpoint your strengths, your weaknesses. Additionally, we delved into developing business concepts that aim to solve problems. And I trust you've been working on um, the worksheets that have been shared with you. With these crucial aspects of your business tackled, you are now prepared to step out and introduce yourself to the world. You have this business idea, now you're going out with that business idea. So, who are you? What does your company do? What is this unique selling point of yours? And how can you grab attention? So, few questions. I have 25 minutes, I guess. So, in the next 25 minutes, we will be covering how can we market our business idea. So, earlier I mentioned that My Women Support collaborates with startups. Today, we will delve into one specific startup that we worked with. Two friends with a combined experience exceeding 25 years in the hairstyling industry came up with this concept that adapting to the changing times, they opted to introduce an app that links clients throughout Ontario with a hairstylist that suits their requirement. So this is their business idea, and they have created an app. The app is My Best Hairstylist. All right. So during today's presentation, we will showcase this business idea as an example. Please respond to the questions with your own business idea in mind. So, who you are, I am. Now, this app was developed by Monica and Divya. So, they will say, I am Monica, and this is my business partner, Divya. And we have been in the hairstylist industry for more than 20 years. We have recently launched an app, My Best Hairstylist. So, who they are, what they do, what does this app do is to connect clients across Ontario with the hairstylist who best fits their needs. So this is the problem that they are solving. So what is the mission and vision of the best hairstylist? My best hairstylist. Keeping in mind today's users, more and more people rely on apps to schedule their appointments. So what is your company's mission and vision and unique selling point? This is also a recap, and if you have your notes handy, you can just recall what we discussed previously. And their unique selling point is over 1,200 small and large salon operators registered. So if I am the client, I go on this app, I have long hair. So if I want to look up for hairstylists who are expert in handling long hair, believe me, not everyone is expert in handling long hair. I have stood up on a stool for the hairstylist to reach my hair because when I book an appointment over phone and they ask, what's the length? I say long. And when I reach there and they look at my hair and they say, oh, we didn't thought that it would be that long. So it's a surprise for them. So yes, it's uh, it's interesting to see their expressions. So I need a specific professional who can cut my hair. I cannot trust everyone and everyone. So keep in mind what's your unique selling point and why would your dream client come to you? Are you explaining them? So for that, you need to do market research. Now, when you know that this is your business idea and the problem that you are solving, you need to do what? Market research. It is very, very important. I cannot emphasize more, and it should be ongoing. It's never done. It's never complete. What is market research? Market research is collecting and analyzing information that gives credibility to your idea and the potential market, since as a startup entrepreneur, you do not have a track record. Because helmets are not sold to divers, but they are crucial for racers. So keep this in mind. Keep this in mind when you're doing your market research. The information includes the target market, your dream client, the market size and where it is located, demographics. There are different aspects for individual and business customers, and it gives an indication of the industry trends. If the basic market research is properly done, it will assist in the growth and success of the business. So who is your dream client? That is the customer profile. If you're an expert in cutting kids' hair, your target market would be moms of young kids, because young kids are not the decision makers. They are not paying the money. They don't go on apps. They don't Google. So you have to build a rapport, or you have to look into where moms go to pick up the best hairstylist for their kids. And what do they look for? For this, when they were building the app, this was their customer profile. Who are your customers and where do they live or work? Because this app was providing services for Ontario. So they divided into regions. Where do they buy and how often do they buy? Do they use app or not? What price are they willing to pay? And what motivates them to buy? And motivation includes what? Motivation includes status, price, and convenience. So, what are your questions? What do you know about the industry that you have chosen? Find out who your customers, what do they need, will they purchase your product or service, gather relevant data, who will buy your product or service. And who is your competition? Are there other people offering the same service? For example, there is this app, Stylist. It's huge and they provide the same service. So look for your competition. Who is your competition out there? How and where do they market themselves? Which medium do they use? Because this is an app, should they rely on online advertising, social media, and partnership with salons? Because salons can also promote this app that you can book your next appointment through this app. So where do your competition market their service? You have to keep in mind. So the industry that you are going in, is this a growing industry or declining? For this specific one, the app, it's growing. Even with if you're if you have a senior clientele and you want to market this app to them, you can set up a small workshop and teach them how they can use this app. Because you don't want to lose your customers, but you want to build the clientele including them. Where are the competitors located? Is the app that you are competing with, are they providing services in Ontario? Or is it international? Or is it in New Brunswick? Or is it in somewhere else? So search for direct competition. Is the other app easy to use? So check for reviews. Most of the services, maybe it's dental, when so anything that involves tools. You talk about a comfort zone, Carly, that if your client wants to come back to you because they're sitting in the chair and you have all the tools down. So you have to build this rapport. So people go to professionals whom they are comfortable. What price do they charge? Are the services too high to be paid? And are they getting what they are paying for? So pricing is very important. How you price your services, your professional services. If a hairstylist is charging $60, for example, for a haircut, just a haircut, not including blow dry, for example. But there is another hairstylist who is charging $45. What are you getting for $60? Is it the environment? Is it the music that they play? Is it the noise? Is it the commute that you are willing to pay for that? Like, what is helping you to make that decision for going for the $60 haircut? Does this professional update and upskill themselves every year? Do they have the latest techniques and tools to provide the services? And are you excited to go to them every time? Do you want to be that repetitive customer, that what do you call it, like returning client? So my daughter was going through this phase of where she wanted to have bangs. Yes, and she had the haircut done. She was very happy about it. Her hairstylist said that you can come in after 20-25 days and I will do the curtain bangs for free just to maintain it. So it took 5 minutes in and out for the hairstylist to do the curtain bangs, but she secured the client. And yes, she was satisfied. She was satisfied because with those curtain bangs, she looked at her hair and said that no, you're maintaining it nicely. They're looking good. The conversation that they had, she came out with a smile on her face. So that smile, that feeling, that you give them in those half an hour or 45 minutes, it is very important. So customer satisfaction varies. Some have better customer service than others. So the reviews that you get on Google, that you get on Instagram, direct messages, and all that, they they have meaning. They have meaning. So, identification of the company's competitive advantage. Why am I or my company or my services better than yours or better than my competition? What is that? What is the difference between my services and his or them, whoever is your competition? You have to keep everyone in mind. Look at the chat. Going the extra mile. Yes, you're putting in extra effort. So, what is your company's competitive advantage? So, look into your company's competitive advantage, we can do a SWOT analysis. And what is a SWOT analysis? We look into your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I would say be honest when you are conducting your own SWOT analysis. Be honest, like you know what you are good at. Be critical, but not too hard on yourself. So we worked on this before. You know your strengths, professional certificates, affiliations, recognitions, team that you're working with. Everything comes in your strengths. Your weaknesses. What are your weaknesses? Maybe you are relatively new to the market. Are you working on your own? Time as you are working for someone else, or expenses or overheads? What are your weaknesses? Is one of my clients, she was in the hairstyling industry for a long time. Then she had a surgery, and her arm was not working in the best way, you can say, as before. So instead of she used to work from 10 to 4. She used to do 5 or 6 or 7 clients, but now she can only do 3 because she gets tired. Her arm hurts after 3 clients. It's not your weakness, but she had to be realistic. Those 3 satisfied clients were better instead of 7 clients and her being in pain the next day. So, what are the threats? Is there too much competition around? That can be a threat. Too many businesses offering the similar service, and the rates of services are quite low, where people are underselling to stay in the market. Are you prepared for this? So be honest. Again, when you're doing your own SWOT analysis, or ask your best friend, someone you trust, to do this with you. Sit together with them and do this SWOT analysis. It's a good exercise. It's a good exercise. So, what are some marketing strategies that you, after going through all this, now you know your strengths, now you know your weaknesses? What are some marketing strategies? We will go into detail next week as well. But for this, how, as a business owner, service provider, a professional, you need smart activities that will generate prospects that would lead to income generation. You want to make money. You want to make money. So there should be goals that you set for yourself. So where you are marketing, social media campaigns, you want to put in money there. Are your clients there? Can you find your dream clients on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn? Do you need a website or a Facebook account? Partnership with local salons. For this particular business, that was the app. Partnerships with local salons and influencers was huge. So think about your own business and then choose your marketing channels. This is very important. So SMART goals, setting measurable and specific goals for marketing activities. You are out there, you want to market your services now, but how would these marketing activities help you gain the clients, your dream clients that you want, and help you earn? So you're investing your time, your money in this, so you have to be very specific. So what are SMART goals? SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. So if you are planning to start a mobile hairstyling service, for example, on the screen you can see the marketing activities that the app owners used. But if you are starting a mobile hairstyling service, your SMART goals can look like increase salon revenue by 15% in the next 4 months. So you are specific. Participate in the Beauty and Vision Awards by Vella coming in July, like next year, July. There would be Beauty and Vision. You want to participate because it will increase your what do you call it? Exposure. And you will learn as well. Keep social media activities up and relevant to your clientele and post reviews regularly. This is my happy client. Just take a picture, post it. Depending on your business. To be more specific, 1 to 2 posts per week and be active on Instagram stories. Participate in professional training once a year. So these are the goals that you're setting up for yourself to keep this business up and running. So we discussed about different marketing activities. So your homework can be, how are we doing with the time? Your homework can be reason for choosing this marketing activity. How will you execute this activity? What will cost to execute this activity? And what are you expecting through this activity? What are you planning to achieve through this activity? So we will be sharing a calendar with you, a year calendar. You can put down all the marketing activities, how much you are investing in it, and when will you start doing that activity, and how long will you carry that activity? If you're planning to run a social media campaign, would it be for a week, month, 2 months? Are you planning, if you're planning to go to an event, a big event, do you need your business cards for there? How many business cards would you need? So check your inventory. If you already have those business cards with you and there is not much change in the address and everything, can you use them? So yes, so we will be sharing those two documents with you, Carly and Katie, and then you can share it with the participants. Yes, thank you. I will stop sharing, and if you have any questions.
Thank you, Karen. I feel like I always do things with you and I have all these ideas in the air. And then you present and they're just like these perfectly laid out step by step. This is how you do and why. And I'm like, hey, those are my ideas, but you as well, but you make them make sense and you make them simple for people. And every one of these slides, I was like, yes, yes, yes. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Carly.
Any questions from anyone? I think that through this series, Kieran and I have very similar ideas on how to go about building and launching a successful business. That comes with ease and with fun, yet is still you're doing the work, but in a planned out way that it doesn't just overtake your entire life. Because that's not what we want, right? We want you to build the confidence to have simple daily action steps and to also have that vision. So I really hope that you guys are doing the work and putting a bit of time in. You showed up here, we give you information, but we can't do the work for you. Okay.
Stop sharing, Carly.
Am I sharing?
Have I stopped sharing?
Yeah, you're stop sharing. You're good.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, so if you guys have questions, you know you can reach out. There's the WhatsApp app chat anytime. Please just go ahead in there, and we will see you next week where we're gonna kind of pull it all together. We'll dive a little bit deeper onto like actually how to take steps towards marketing and what you can physically do every day, but just kind of sit with these ideas and start to create a bit of a plan. And we will see you next Monday, same bat time, same bat place. Okay, bye everybody.